Okay, it's day 115. I think this is part 6. So people are looking at the death list, unfortunately, from the Russian plane crash, 3,300 feet per second, sharded metal, twisted metal, explosion signatures all over the place. And they're looking at all the people on there, and I'm trying to, just after an analysis of about 20 minutes, I'm like, is there anybody not related to Uranium-1? That would be easier. Let's just, get all the people that are not related to Uranium-1. But there's Ivanov, obviously, with the Russia Academy of Sciences. Rosneft is on there. Rostova, the attorney, she's doing EB-5s into Chicago through a company called Aptiva. Panchenko, another EB-5 lawyer who was he was kind of the opposition party the CIA was supporting, kind of embezzling money out of the Russian government. Oh gosh, there's Ashkan, is that it? The couple that died. He was Russian Academy of Sciences, the geography use of nature. The use of nature would be minerals or oil. So there's a whole bunch of people connections to Uranium-1. I think Q put out something like that, some kind of clue like that. Like I said, it would be easier to say who wasn't involved in Uranium-1 and just to keep clarity. But there's like 5 or 6 that are just kind of like directly involved with these contacts of EB-5s. And if it was me, the way I believe it works, you use energetics, what they call energetics. That's the Navy intel way of saying explosions. And you plant those energetics and you have an energetic event, an explosion. And you have these kind of hovering, infrared radar. If you're Suzanne Rothschild, you would certainly have OPIR, right? Out of Denver. And you look for these plumes. Gas is emitted when there's a peaceful nuclear event, PNE. Now, people think, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. No, Russia, look at the Soviet Union and PNE, Google it, hundreds of, I think it had like 800 PNEs. So PNEs are not something that's new in Russia. And we're talking about Kazakhstan and this is about money, money, money. Astana, Astana, Astana. Astana to Piketown is the name of the game here, the rat line. So who knows what is, if there is anything nice that ties things together about the crash, is it just all these who's who of Uranium-1, and you're on the right track. Now, was Sergey Millian one of the 4 people I talked about with the Papadopoulos meetings? Was he one of the 4 that really died on that plane as well? That was one of the 4 Papadopoulos meetings. Was Sergey Millian really on that plane? And I named the other 3. And Boris Epstein, if you're in Washington right now, get thee to a nunnery, my friend. Anyway, so I would just say that at this point, the Russian crash is very interesting in terms of all the Uranium-1 connections with either some kind of satellite capability. Ivanov was big in satellite. This other guy, Ulrich, the first guy that Q listed, was really big in satellite nanosets. Remember, I only need to hover for a couple of minutes during the PNE, and then I need to see the plume only for a couple of minutes. If I had that data set of a couple of minutes before and after the PNE, I take that to Argonne National Laboratories. I come in as a programmer through Aptiva, let's say in Chicago, LaSalle Avenue, and I'm good to go. I can run all my fast Fourier transforms and do all my image processing on a supercomputer to find resources for the future. I know this is a technical discussion, but I'm just saying this is how I would do it. I would just use all the capabilities at my disposal. I would do the PNE, I would have the overhead persistent radar, and I would look to see where the gas plumes are with my infrared, and then I would process all the images at Argonne National Labs. Easy peasy. To me, that's just like getting up and having a cup of coffee, but maybe it isn't for everyone else. But if you look at the death list, it almost is like a exactly what I said. It's the nuclear chain in resource development and exploration. It just jumps off the page at you. So we'll see. If there is somebody that you've identified that's not involved in uranium-1 out of the 71 that died, please let me know.